Hello from a beautiful day in the high desert. Look at all the snow behind me. Unbelievable. So let me say before getting into this leave me alone, I'm retired stuff, I know it can be kind of controversial, right? You're retired, you have stuff, people asking you for stuff to do, and I'll get into those things that people have been asking me, some, but also that I've heard from other people for them to do when they're retired. You know what? For the most part, I'm fine with that. There's no problem at all. But you know what? I'm retired. I earned my solitude. I earned the right to do whatever I want, whenever I want, right? It's just a thing that, for the most part, like I say, I'm okay. Ask me to do whatever you want. But there will be times where I will say no. You have to learn how to say no to these things, okay? You've earned this time through all the years that you put in. You've earned all of this time off and the ability to do whatever you want to do whenever you want to do it, all right? For instance, one thing I love in retirement is having so many options available to me to do whatever I want, whenever I want. That's a big reason I love Los Angeles, is that you can do whatever you want within an hour's drive. You can go skiing. You can go to the beach. You can go to the theater. You can go to the opera. You can go see a band play on a Thursday night, Same thing in retirement. I want to have all the options available to me to do whenever I want. Now again, for the most part, you know what? I'm a pretty generous guy. I'm open. Ask me to do something, I'll help you out. But don't come to rely on that, because there will be times when I'm like, you know what? Let me get back to you on that. It's another thing you have to learn how to do is how to say no gracefully. You can do this gracefully. You don't have to come across as a jerk, right? Say, hey, you know what? I'd love to help you with that. Can we do it another day? Because right now I've got some things that I want to do. It's an easy way to do it. Or you can say, hey, you know what? I'll be okay to do that for you, but so-and-so might be better with that because he's better with electronics. I might be able to help you, but how about you try this guy instead? You can do these gracefully, but you have to learn how to say no. For a long time, I struggled with that. I'm kind of a people pleaser. But you know what? The older I get, the more you have to learn just how to say no. Say it nicely, say it gracefully. Hopefully that'll come across well. Now, here are some of the things, and again, these don't all apply to me, that people have been saying in the comments to some of my videos about people asking them to do in retirement. Number one, babysitting. I don't have to do that. I mean, I have a brother. He doesn't have any kids. Doesn't live in the area anyway. But some of the people that have commented on my channel have said, enough is enough. I'm there for my grandkids. I'll do it from time to time. But don't come to rely on me to be there, Thursday night if you call me Thursday afternoon to do this every time. Sometimes, sure, I might be able to do it. Fine. But don't come to rely on that. I've got my stuff I want to do as well. Number two, endless honeydew lists. Luckily, my girlfriend is very good about this. She makes some lists once in a while, but nothing big. I can always handle it. But I've heard some horror stories of friends of mine who are retired, who is just like, you'll get a list and it might be one of 8 lists, that never used to be there when they were still working. Okay, great, I get it. You're retired, you have more time. But you can get to these lists when you can, as opposed to having someone bug you. It's like, hey, you've only got to number 2, man. I've got 8 things on that list, or here's another 6 lists for you. Yeah, I don't know about that. Again, learn how to say no gracefully, or postpone it to another time that's convenient for you, right? Again, you guys, you've earned this. You've earned your retirement. You've earned the ability to do whatever you want to do, whenever you want to do. So as long as you're cool about it, hey, people shouldn't have a problem with that, right? Number 3. This is kind of bad, but it has happened to me in the past. Can I borrow some money? Okay, sure, from time to time. I have a couple people that have asked me that, actually 3 people. You know, once I told them I retired, it's like, I'm assuming in their mind, they're like, oh, you're retired, so you got all this money saved up just sitting there. Hey, can I borrow, I don't know, a couple $1,000? Okay. When are you going to get it back to me? You're retired. It's like, come on. Is that big a deal? I'll get it to you when I get it to you. Yeah, that's not going to happen. You know? So, yeah, that's happened to me. And I've also heard of other people that's happened to as well. Number 4, and I've mentioned this in another one, moving. Hey, man, you got all the time on your hands in the world. Can you help me move? Okay, sure. From time to time, no big deal. But if it's something that, you know, comes up, let's say once a month, hey, you know, I've got all these big boxes. You own a truck, which I don't. But, you know, I have some friends that do. And it's like, it seems like other people are using their truck more than they are. Again, depending on how you are as a person, right? All this stuff might not bother you. For me, for the most part, it doesn't. For the most part, I'm cool with all this. But there are times when it's like, nope, I'd rather do this. I'd rather read a book. I would rather work on my writing. I'd rather work on my YouTube channel. There are so many other things that we can do when we're retired. And some of you may be saying, okay, look, man, just drop what you got to do and help them out. You've got all the time in the world to do your other stuff. That is true. But there are times where I feel like doing this stuff that I can. So to the person who's asking me for help, yes, I can help you, but does it have to be right now? Or, hey, this person has a truck, I don't. Can you ask them maybe instead of me with my little hatchback to help you out? So again, there are ways to go about this gracefully, right? But just remember, guys, you've earned this. You've earned this through all the years that you've worked. Retirement is leisure. It can also mean helping people, but doesn't always have to be on their terms. Learn how to say no gracefully, okay? You don't have to come across as a jerk, but just know you don't always have to be there just because you have all the time on your hands that you do. And, you know, after a while, your friends, they'll probably come to realize that, you know? And if you're doing it in a graceful manner, they shouldn't have a problem with that, right? Anyway, guys, that's my feeling of don't bother me, I'm retired. Again, for the most part, I'm good with that. But there are times, let me tell you. All right, guys, anyway, as you can see behind me, we've gotten tons of snow here in the high desert, and I'm loving it. It's about 38 degrees out right now, kind of nippy, but hey, that's it. That's okay with me if I get these kind of views. Anyway, guys, let's stick to our guns, know what we want to do, believe in ourselves, and remember, we got this.